And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Flagrant 2 with X and Lou. I'm X, that's Lou.
I think you said it backwards. I'm X.
Uh,
That's Lou.
yeah. Nah, it's opposite day, man. I'm X today. Um Oh man, game 5. Game 5. What a game. What a game. What a game. There's a lot to talk about. I have a lot of questions. A lot of questions. I actually wrote them down
Shit.
here. Wrote them everything down here.
Wait,
Got a
time
lot of
out.
questions.
That was game five.
Game yeah, that was game 5.
That
We're going
seemed
into
that
game
seemed like it
6.
was probably like game 5.5 at least for Clay because he was warming up, getting ready for game six.
He was. We're gonna talk about that in a sec. We're gonna we
We
go
gonna
we
talk.
gonna get the Clay. I want to start off with Boston. Boston. I got two questions for you, X.
So
This is it's one question, but it's a two-parter.
mhm.
Is Tatum elite? Is Brown elite?
Let me I gotta say it like this: Tatum has the skill set to be elite.
Hmm.
But it's just something about him that he just doesn't have that. Just every superstar who's really in that moment, who just has it in him, where you just see like, damn, he's really taking over, and the things that he do out there just so deflating and it's just so effortless, and he just making it look easy. Where he's cooking them, he's
Yeah,
killing. He has the skill set for it, but for some reason he just doesn't have the mentality. Like
he
he
doesn't
just
have
doesn't put
that.
it all together.
Yeah,
Like I don't
yeah,
know, especially in the fourth, as you can see, he's shooting like 25% in the fourth right now. So it's just like, yo, that's the time when it counts.
yeah.
You want to have that Mamba mentality, you gotta close the game out. You can't be missing back to back free throws at the line.
At all.
Can't be doing that. And then on the other end, as far as Jalen Brown goes, Jalen Brown is just when you say inconsistent here, just too inconsistent to be. He has the work ethic, the skill, and your mentality, honestly. And you can see in a certain quarters where it's just like, damn, he just takes over, and it's just
Yeah.
like, geez, but he just missing it. Like he just missing just the overall game for him to really be that as well. And I think that's just gonna take time with them with understanding the game and just going through certain things and seeing the whole game and really encapsulating the whole picture of it. Because we can see with Tatum with the turnovers, and then certain games he actually makes the passes, he makes the assists, and it's just
Yeah.
like, all right, you think he's getting the game, like, all right, cool, I know where to be, I know what to do with the ball, and then it's just next game he just goes ahead and he just starts chucking up shots, and you go into draw fouls instead of going to the basket stronger, instead of making an easy pass and making things happen.
Do you think he presses too much? Do you think it's over athleticism sometimes?
For Brown,
Yeah.
yes, but it's just like at times he has to have that mentality because sometimes even we've seen in the game that they won, it was Draymond the game before shut him down and he was moving
Mhm.
with him, and then the next game Jalen Brown came out with that mentality of actually being physical and
I'm gonna
just
get
like, you know
past
what,
you.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
at I'm gonna go at
Yeah.
him, and he went at him and he did that, like, because at the end of the day, this is a new age of basketball. We ain't got no hand checking. We ain't got none of that. So it's like some of these guys, they're gonna move their feet and stay in front of you, but then some of them are
Yeah.
just gonna let you go by, and they just can't do nothing about it with how fast and how strong you are. So
Yeah.
he
Put your
just
head
gotta
down
really
and
be
just go to the
aggressive.
rim. Yeah.
Exactly.
Staying on Boston. Because we gonna get to Golden State. I got a lot of numbers I'm gonna throw at you in a little bit. But staying on Boston, Boston's turnovers, did that truly kill them? Because they had they had Boston's turnovers have the third most, or I'm sorry, Golden State Warriors have the third most points of turnovers in finals history.
hmm
So how pivotal and how huge are these turnovers?
The turnovers is used because it's not like they getting turnovers where it's dead ball turnovers.
Mhm.
They're getting turnovers where they're allowing Golden State to get in transition. And when Golden State get in transition, they got so many weapons with whether Clay on the wing or Thompson on the wing. You got Draymond Green pushing the ball, and then you got Wiggins slashing to the basket. It's those three weapons plus Draymond with the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do with your team that's discombobulated trying to figure out who's got what matchup in a fast break? By the time
Yeah.
you figure out who's got who, somebody's scoring already, or Clay's putting up a jump shot already. It's like nothing you can really do. So it's like the actual live ball turnovers is the thing that's really killing them. If it was dead ball, maybe throwing it out of bounds like Tatum did, he threw it to like the third row. I thought he was trying to put that in a owner's suite or something. If you got a turnover like that, it's like still turnovers is bad because it's like,
Yeah.
guess what? That's 2 or 3 points you're not getting, but at least it's not 2 or 3 points you're giving up. So turnovers is horrible for them with the way they're turning the ball over.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think these turnovers have it's almost like a trickle down effect. Especially when you're trying to claw your way back into a game where you're right there within striking distance to take the lead. Those turnovers are very costly. I think Golden State is probably if not the best, one of the best teams in the league at creating points off of turnovers. And not just that, they know where to be on the break. I mean, I don't think anybody in the league runs the break better than them. They know exactly where to go on the floor. They know where their spots are going to be, and they know how to play the numbers game. You know, who's back on defense. Oh, we got 2 guys back. We got 3 guys already up here. We're gonna make them decide which one of us to guard, and that's tough. That's tough, especially when you have to decide whether to guard a streaking a streaking Clay or a cutting Curry that's going to the corner, because you don't know if Curry's going to get, he's going to get the ball and get the layup, or is he going to go straight to the corner and wait for the pass to get the shot. It's very tough, and then you add Poole to the mix of that fast break, and it's even more deadly. So yeah, turnovers have been, I mean, coming into the series, there was a huge issue. That was the biggest question mark for Boston. Can they limit their turnovers? Can they can they play sound basketball and limit their turnovers against a great team that knows how to create in transition? You look at this game, and I think that this game was also a tale of two sides of the coin necessarily, because throughout this whole playoffs, well, I can't say playoffs, but this whole series, Golden State has dominated the third quarter. This is the first game that they didn't necessarily dominate the third quarter. They dominated the fourth quarter, and they dominated the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, they put the game away. Usually, it's still kind of a fight. Boston has come back. They've outscored Golden State in the fourth quarter so far. That fourth quarter was very telling to me. How do you feel about the second half?
Before we get to the second half, the thing about it is, yes, the Celtics dominated third quarter. They had me a little worried, but this also goes to the fact because the Warriors actually played well in the first quarter. Usually it's a closer game in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But the first quarter, they came out gunning. And if we think about the series, the most team that came out gunning in the first quarter was the Celtics. That's where they did a lot of their damage. And then they try to hold on. And when we go into the half, the Celtics was up like 12 points, they was up 2 points. It was always up like at the half. And then the third quarter was where the Warriors came. This time it was actually kind of flip-flopped, where it's just the Warriors dominated the first quarter, and when it came down to the third quarter, the second and third quarter for Tatum was extremely high. Oh my God, he was knocking down threes,
back-to-back threes, yeah.
And that's where I was sitting here like, I ain't gonna lie, when I seen that happen, I was like, okay, this might be the Tatum, because I was sitting here thinking Tatum.
This might be the Tatum game.
This might be Tatum. He has to go for 40. I ain't gonna lie, like, and it's tough to say, like, oh, would he actually assist at 7? Around 7 assists a game. That's when they are like 15-0 or something like that. But it's just like when I was seeing that game and I was seeing how he was knocking those threes down, I was like, oh, this might be one of those 40-point games. If he get 40, that's when they'll, you know what I mean? That's when they really go crazy. So I'm
Yeah.
like, so it was a tale of two halves, and I was just, proud of the Warriors doing what they did. And, the C's actually making an actually good game in that third quarter and actually turning that around. So that's a plus for them. So we'll see how that goes into game 6 if they could go ahead and replicate that and hold the Warriors off in that third quarter as well.
Yeah, I think that this was definitely a tale of halves, and I think it's been that in the entire series. It's literally been a tale of
Mhm.
halves, maybe even a tale of quarters. You could even say. I mean, if breaking down the quarters individually, I don't think any team has won all four
Back to
quarters
back
in a game.
quarters. Oh, yeah, or
Yeah,
even back to back
oh yeah,
quarters.
even back to back. Yeah. So I think this was the first time that the Warriors kind of put it all together. I think the only quarter that they literally didn't really win was between second and third quarter. But I mean, I would say I would still call it one quarter because when you look at it, um, they didn't really start making their dent, making their run until the middle of the second, and it ended in the middle of the third.
Mhm.
So I would still call it one quarter. I think that you know if you could win three quarters in a game, you're gonna win that game, and that's what happened. I also want to talk about the bench. Boston's bench only gave them 10 points. And
Mhm.
and two of those points came in garbage time. Golden State Warriors gave 31 points off the bench. And again, two of those points came in garbage time. So you're looking at 29 to 8 points coming off the bench. That's huge. That's huge. And they usually say when you're home, the role players kind of role play a little bit better.
Yeah.
But that you need production off the bench. You can't just rely on, Smart, Tatum, Brown to get you going. You need everybody to contribute. And so far, people have contributed. White has contributed. Grant Williams, you even getting contributions from Patrick Pritchard, you know, or Peyton Pritchard.
Payton.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. Um, this game you're not getting that. You're not getting anything off the bench from them. And I think that hurt them as well.
Yeah, but when we gotta think about that, we think about the bench. And when we think about the roles coming off the bench, these guys, none of their roles coming off the bench is the ball handle.
Yeah.
And the closest person you have that you'll trust because he understands the game is Derek White. And when we think
Yeah.
of Derek White, you don't really think of him as like he's one of those guys he's not great at anything, but he's good. He's like a little above average at everything. Like he'll do everything that you need him to do
Yeah.
above average and good. Where you like, all right, this guy, I know he's consistent. He's gonna do what he does for me. But guess what? If he doesn't go ahead and get the ball, he's more somebody who needs to be set up and things like that. All these guys coming off the bench need to be set up.
Yeah.
And your guys have been in. Brown, Smart, and Tatum has been in damn near the whole game. These guys are tired. They got to
Yeah.
set up for everybody. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then it's just like literally, like I always say, the point guard situation with them is their floor general. They don't really have one of those.
Yeah. Marcus Smart is not somebody you
So
would
it's like
call a floor general. Yeah.
exactly all these guys are ball handlers. They can
Yeah.
handle the ball. So that also keeps them in the game, and it also allows them to make their own shots and still create for each other. But nobody's an elite creator. Where it's like these guys coming off the bench have an elite creator, which gonna go ahead and make them look even better. They
Um,
gotta
do
do
you
that for themselves. Go ahead.
do you think that should be a focus for them going into next season? Getting a veteran point guard to come off the bench for them. Because I mean, you look at Derek White. Derek White is not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. Peyton Pritchard, he's more of an off ball guard, and
Mm-hmm.
those are the only two that could really, that if anything, that you would at this
Trust
moment
the
trust
ball.
the handle the ball. So should that be a focus for them going into next season?
Yes, because those guys aren't going to shine in the limelight. They're going to make timely shots when you get them the ball. But come on, coming off in the postseason, you need to go ahead and figure out some way and not get one of those slashing guards and them scoring guards that they keep picking up and they think it was gonna work. We saw what they did with Kyrie Irving, you know, the guy in New York. You know who I'm talking about. Him and Schroeder. And these are just scoring guards. You need somebody who also going to help these guys understand, slow the game down. Even if they're not in the game, they're going to talk to them and engage them and be like, look, this is what we, you know what I mean? They need something like that. And I think they would be a way better team. And the thing about it is they're good as is. So now with something like that, that'll bring them over the top. And thinking about next year where all these other people are actually healthy and back in the East, you're going to need something that's going to bring them over the top of what they're playing at now.
Yeah. Get them over that hump. Mm-hmm. Boston was 9 for 40 from 3. I'm sorry, there was 11 for 32 from 3. Golden State was 9 for 40. Yeah. This was, I think, the best sign for them was the fact that they couldn't get a 3 to 4. They could not get this. I think Clay started hitting threes in the second half. That's when, you know, they really started, you know, threes started kind of falling for them. What was that? The third quarter buzzer.
He had the back-to-back threes. It's Clay.
Yeah, and then Jordan Poole hits the buzzer beater. I think that was the only real threes that they was really getting. And not for nothing, Gary Payton was huge for them as well. I mean, you got quality minutes and quality buckets from him. I mean, you got 26 minutes from him, and he gave you 15 points and 6 for 8 shooting, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. And he had a plus 16.
And all of his baskets came literally off the fast breaks and just being in the right place at the right time in transition, whether it's off a rebound or, you know, getting a steal. He was just in the right place, having the fresh legs and running up and down the court. And that's why I always say I want him over Iguodala in there because, you know, he's gonna actually push the pace where these guys are used to the older guys just actually slowing it down and getting up court. When they get up court, he's gonna be that slasher who's gonna run down Main Street and get to that basket. He just gets under the defense somehow. Always does.
Yeah, I mean, you see the putback dunks he does. I mean, he's incredible. I do want to look at it wasn't just, you know, the production that you're getting off the bench from Golden State. It wasn't just, you know, the field goal percentage. I mean, they shot 47% from the field to Boston's 41%. And it was also the points in the paint. I think that was the biggest difference. You have 50 points in the paint for Golden State to 36 to Boston. I think that was the biggest sign. And what did I say? If we get Wiggs to be more aggressive, attack the basket, and get and you just want 20, you want 20 field goals from him. Make or miss, you want him to do 20 field goals. This happened. He had a huge night. What's your take on Wiggs?
Wiggs, you know, he's sitting here looking at that Finals MVP trophy with his side of his eye, like, yo, you sure you want that? Nah, he ain't getting it. But you know,
that's actually another question I had on here. Does Wiggins' huge night hurt Curry's MVP chances? You know,
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, we could talk about Curry only had 16 points and 8 assists. Right, but the thing about it is Steph Curry is the reason why a lot of these people got what they got on the offensive side, because guess what? He's taking somebody completely out the play, which they're so focused on him. They playing 4-on-4 basketball out there, and then when he does get into action, now 2 people going to him. Klay Thompson get open shots. You know, everybody else get back doors. You know, Draymond get the short roll and start setting everybody else up. So it's like, even though he had a bad night, at the end of the day, when you look at his playoff average right now, he's still averaging like 30 points.
30 points, yeah. And another thing is the fact that they changed their defensive plan for this game.
Oh, yeah.
They was blitzing him on everything. And that threw Curry off, but it opened the door up for everybody else. And I think that's what's the scary part. You blitz him, you blitz the double team to get the ball out of Curry's hands. And we talked about this in the last episode. You get the ball out of his hands, and there's other you're leaving a shooter open. You're leaving somebody open. You're leaving a cutter open. You're leaving somebody else that can score. Doesn't have to be Curry that needs to score. Curry is just that great that he can score, but he's a great facilitator too. And I think that it's almost overshadowed for the fact that like he could shoot so well, that he's one of the greatest shooters that we've ever seen. But he's a great facilitator too. He sees the floor extremely well. But no, I agree. I think that Wiggins had a huge night. He had a great night. I mean, Wiggs doesn't have that game, they lose this game. But I don't think it hurts Curry's MVP chances. You're looking at somebody who consistently draws double teams. Consistently, you're not game planning for Wiggins. You're game planning for Curry. You're not in the half court sets and your half court defense. You're not totally like you're concerned for Wiggins, but you're not worried. You're not overly worried about Wiggins. You're overly worried about Curry, because Curry, as soon as he passes that half court, he can knock a shot down. I don't know, man. I think that Curry's chances are still high.
Yeah, I mean, he's number one.
Yeah,
I don't think any. Ain't nobody else up there with him, because at the end of the day, when we look at that game, I ain't gonna lie, and if Curry just went ahead and got his averages and actually made some of those shots, he would be at almost 28 points that game, 28, 30 points, if he would actually make some of those shots. Because at the end of the day, we could talk about how the defense was adjusted to him and everything, but to keep it 100,
wide open shots.
It was a few shots that were just wide open that he just missed, and it's just like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Grant Williams had a nice block on him, but it's just sitting here like he just missed some shots. The shots that he normally would make, he missed, and it's just like you can see a lot of them shots were short. So it's like you can see maybe that's some lazy, that's some fatigue. Yeah. He's a little older, but he got to run around that court enough. So it's like next game though, we know how he comes back after making those shots. He come back.
That was gonna be my next question. Is Curry gonna have another night like this? I mean, he went 0 for 9 from 3. And I think this was the first time a 3-point shooter has shot this bad since Ray Allen in the finals when he went 0 for 13. Do you think Curry's gonna have another night like this?
No, not at all. I mean, at the end of the day, we do the law of averages out here. And the law of averages, my man shoot about 40% from 3. And this playoffs, I think he's shooting even better, like 45 or something like that.
He was shooting like 49 coming into last
49. There we go. That's the number. It was 49.5 or something like that. I know it was a 5 in there somewhere. But he's shooting that. Like, so it's like you telling me somebody who takes 2 shots, one of them always goes in.
Yeah.
You telling me he's gonna take damn near 10 shots and none of them go in? So the next game, what? Come on, we gotta play the averages. At the end of the day, he showed and he's proven that he could knock these shots down. So let's not act like he's not gonna come out there and make these shots next game.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be hunting for his shots. I think he's gonna be looking to make a statement. Like, nah, like I went 0 for 9. I'm not going 0 for 9 again. I think his first shot is going to be a 3, and it's going to be a beautiful water, nothing but net. But let's change the topic from Curry. Let's talk about his running mate. Draymond has been fouled out for the 3rd time in this finals. Is that hurting the Warriors?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's hurting them because honestly, it adds to the floor spacing at the end of the day. No matter, that's what I keep pressing on. It adds to the floor spacing because if he can't play, guess what? It adds to the floor spacing on offense. You got to put other guys in there who can actually space, like Otto Porter and things like that. But it does still hurt him at the end of the day because everything else he brings to the floor, as far as facilitating, defense, all of that. It's like, come on, bro, we need you out there. But I can't be mad at my guy. He out there playing 90s ball, man. He out there hacking. He's hacking, man. What are you talking about?
You missed the intangibles, You missed those. But I don't think you missed the offense. But you definitely missed the intangibles. I mean, it's Dre.
Exactly.
It's Dre.
Exactly what he brings to the team. But at the end of the day, That boy, he's gonna keep the energy up. He's gonna keep being out there playing hard to give you everything he got. And sometimes, guess what? Playing a little hard gonna get you a foul that you might not get in that regular season. You know what I mean? Because you're playing a little more intense than you did in the
Yeah,
regular season.
that's a fact. Let's talk about the other splash, bro, because we are about to enter Game 6. We are about to enter game. Are we going to get Game 6 Clay? And will it hurt Curry's chances if Clay goes off for like 50?
I mean, it's not gonna hurt his chances at all because we're gonna still remember the fact that Clay didn't do anything game one and game two. And then game three, he finally kind of showed a little something. So it's like, that's not going to hurt him at all. Clay could go for 50. And guess what? We're going to sit there and be like, oh, Clay got 1 out of 6 games.
Right.
We're going to sit there and still look at Wiggins because Wiggins had 2 good games out of 6 games.
Right.
Curry went crazy this whole thing. But I think this game, it's game 6 Clay, close out Clay. And I think he's going to do his thing because we've seen that he was getting a little rhythm going in. And everybody talk about, well, he got days off, man. These are shooters. Once they get in that game and they start to play and that atmosphere is what it is, I think Clay's going to show up and show out. In the way the Boston was playing their defense, that adjustment, guess what? It opened up those shots for Clay. That's why Clay was open. You got to understand when they was playing that drop and the drop coverage type of defense. Mm-hmm. It wasn't allowing Clay to get open. Clay is not going to make anything off the dribble or anything crazy off the dribble. He made a few shots last game off dribble, but I'm still not going to trust it. So guess what? I'm going to take my chances of him dribbling the ball and trying to make a shot as opposed to setting and shooting the way when they was defending Curry and letting these guys allowing them to set shoot. It's like, come on.
Yeah. So, but do you think we're gonna see a game 6 Clay?
I think we're gonna see a game 6 Clay. I think he's getting 30 at least.
At least, at the very least.
Yeah. So I think he's getting 30.
How much Curry getting? Curry
getting his 30. I think Curry getting his 30. They're going 30 for 30, man.
They go 30 for 30. I saw a tweet from NFL player. I forget who it was, but he said Curry and Clay can combine for 80 in games.
That's tough.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. That would be crazy.
That would be epic.
That'd be crazy. That'd be probably the greatest game 6 finals game 6 ever. 2 players. Has that ever been done?
Yes, against the Warriors.
Against the Warriors? Who?
Yes, Kyrie and LeBron. They both had 41.
Oh, you're right. But it wasn't game 6. It wasn't a closeout game though.
It was in the finals.
It was that game 5, right? That was when Dre. But that don't count. Dre was suspended, so that don't count.
Yeah, that's what it's in the record books.
Nah, that's
you can put an asterisk next to it. It's an asterisk next to everything in the NBA at this point. The way everybody's historians and looking back at things, they go deep in detail. Everything got an asterisk.
Everything, yeah, you're right.
So
who closes out and who keeps their season alive?
Me, I think I still, I'm gonna go. I understand. I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, Boston, they were undefeated when they lost. That streak is over for them this postseason. But now we gotta think about it. Now they lost 2 in a row. How fired up? And then going back to their Garden, how fired up you think they are going into the Garden after 2 losses? Not just 1, but 2 of them. So my prediction for tonight, well, not tonight, but for tomorrow is the Warriors still. I had y'all. It's still going to be the Warriors. I don't care what you say. It's game 6. These guys know what time it is. And I think it's going to be a close game. That's the reason why I feel like it's going to be a Warriors win. And it's going to come down to Tatum. I was texting Kev, he was on the show the other day. I was texting him. And I'm like, it's going to come down to Tatum, man. He's going to get that ball on the elbow. He's going to hit him a little post fade move, a little fade away. He's going to air ball. My man said he's going to switch that. I said, man, did you see what he had been doing in the 4th quarter? That's going to be an air ball. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to come down to Tatum, and Tatum is going to fumble the bag.
Well, game 5, Tatum and Brown both played 44 minutes. They got 4 minutes of rest. How many minutes do you play them in game 6? I
All
mean,
of them.
really, you played them all 48?
Bro, what are you
Give
gonna
them Jimmy
do?
Butler? You do
Bro,
Jimmy
what are you gonna
Butler?
do? The season is gonna be damn
Yeah,
near
it's on the
over.
line.
This is your
Yeah, it's on
last
the line.
hoorah. Like, how much rest do you think you need? You just had 3 days off. That plane ride, everybody talk about, oh, but they gotta fly this, that, and the third.
They're going
Man,
home.
these guys are not in the WNBA. No disrespect to them, but they are flying private. They are, they're not on no regular flights. They sitting here got masseuse on the planes. Who knows what's going on those planes? But it's
Yeah,
nothing.
they
These
get
flights ain't
treatment on
nothing
these
with it.
planes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. These flights ain't what they used to be. Where these guys used to be sitting there playing, gambling, and smoking cigars on the plane to the next one. You know what I mean? They're getting
Yeah.
treatments. So these guys, they're gonna come out. You know what I mean? They're gonna be healthy and stuff. But that flight, that ain't gonna affect them at all. I think these guys
they're going home. At the end of the
exactly,
day,
but I'm
they're going
saying they
home.
still got 3 days off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that 2 days after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these guys are gonna be well rested, and it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I think game 6 is gonna be one for the ages. I think this is gonna be one of the better finals because I mean we haven't been really treated to like hype finals. I think the last finals we really got that was hyped and good was LeBron versus Curry. The Cavs and the Warriors. So I really think this is gonna be you got to I agree. I don't think they play all 48. I think they're gonna, it's gonna be the Jimmy Butler thing. They're gonna get like 30 seconds of rest.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, they're gonna play like 47 minutes. Got to. You got to.
And I think they gotta figure out a way. I think they gotta figure out a way to get the rotations properly where Robin Williams can actually play a little bit more minutes. I know he's hurt, you know what I mean? Still semi-hurt. But that man need to be out there a little bit more because he's playing when it comes to that coverage where they play, because now they playing it a little higher. He has more length and a little bit more speed and lateral quickness than Horford. And I think Robin Williams need to get out there a little bit more. Grant Williams, they just need to keep him on the bench. He ain't doing nothing.
He hasn't been effective this entire season. I mean, he's been okay.
Look, I told you, didn't I tell you game 1 before it even started that Grant Williams has no place on his floor.
Yeah.
I said that he has no place on his floor. He guards big body players better than anything. You know what I mean?
He can guard these quicker, jerky, faster guys. He can't.
And that's exactly these guys who move like that. You know what he did? He had to guard Curry for a quick second. Curry off ball, and guess what? He almost broke his ankle. You seen him limping. That was because Curry hit a move. He didn't even have the ball in his hand. He just hit him with a 2-step, and Grant was on the floor. And Clay got an open 3 because Grant was on the floor. Somebody had to pick up Curry.
Yep.
So it's just like,
I had another question about that. Smart was upset that he says that Clay had pushed off. Now I watched the replay. I watched it in slow motion. I slowed it down. I saw a push, but it wasn't a full extension. It was more of a get your hand off me. Like it wasn't the full extension. Because Curry does the full extension. He gets away with it sometimes, but sometimes he does the full extension. Clay doesn't really does the full extension only because he doesn't do a lot of step backs. And he's a lot taller. I watched that play and I slowed it down and I didn't see the foul. That wasn't a foul. I think that Smart created, like, it's more like you're creating it. Oscars. You want to. He's an actor.
That's exactly what that was. He didn't get the call because the refs know who you are, Smart. The refs know who Clay is. Clay don't push off like that. We know you flop like that. So when he did that little move, it's like we know Clay ain't got no dribble moves. He ain't breaking your ankles. He ain't doing nothing to you like that.
Yeah. Had it been Curry,
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Had it been Curry. Yeah, he's gonna get that call. I mean, it could go either way. I think it's a bang bang, but there's a good 70-80% chance he gets that call if it's Curry, because Curry does extend the full arm. He doesn't know how to like pull it. You know what I'm saying? Like check swing it. Clay on the other hand, Clay he's never really in that position to fully push off. You know, he
Mhm.
he he gets enough separation with just his wind up alone because it's so quick
Yeah.
that is, you know, he really doesn't need to push off. But yeah, I didn't see that was a foul either. I
Mhm.
think that was a flop.
It was a flop all the way. And while we on that subject about Smart flopping this, that, and the third, and him, complaining, trying to get these calls, I think Smart, he's somebody who needs to. I gotta say, he needs to relax. He's out there trying to get calls. He's doing a lot of extra stuff out there on the floor. He's doing his own antics, where it's getting him out of the game.
Yeah.
It's making his team like, yo, you got to relax. You're doing this, that, and the third, and it shifts their energy from something that I don't think they, you know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
used to his antics, but this is heightened because it's the finals, so
I
it's
don't think
different.
I don't think he's been locked in since game one. Remember game one, he gave that incredible empowered speech on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen that same passion team wise. I think it's been
Yeah,
more, like you say, more self. I don't want to say self, but it is, you know, it's a little bit, it's selfish. When you do stuff like that, when you put yourself out there and you're letting the refs know to call it tight, that's selfish to me because now these refs, you're not going to get the calls that you normally would if had you just shut up and not argue and get back or not do the antics and the flopping and stuff. You know, you don't do that stuff and you I'm okay with flopping, but flop within the
to get
within the
the
game.
call, but but the call is a right call. But you just gotta,
Right.
like, because we know at the end of the day, you guys are strong enough that a guy backs you down. You can hold. Come on, we know y'all in the
Yeah.
weight room.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not
but
Giannis
I
on Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. But I understand some of them, they'll back you down a little harder. And you could, hey, look, if you fall, that's the only way you could show that he's, you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's backing you down a little rougher than he should. So that's the only way you could get that call. But at the end of the day, some of them is just straight up flops, straight
Yeah.
up actors.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean,
So just play
look
within the
look
game.
look at look at the flop from Jordan Poole.
Oh yeah. That was bad. You know, it's the thing. Jordan Poole, you can see. I ain't gonna lie. I give him credit for that on Smart. You know what I mean?
It was the
But
win. The win.
yeah.
It was the
I give
win.
him
It was no
I give
contact.
him credit on that because it's like, yo, it's about knowing the moment and understanding
Yeah.
that he just got into something with the refs, this, that, the third. So it was like, yo, you ain't even got to touch me. Once you get close enough to me, but
Yup.
Smart put himself in that position for that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
He
like,
put himself
boom,
in that
that
position.
happened. And then you got to give it to him, give it to
Poole.
Poole,
Yeah. Give
because
credit to him.
remember he got a foul. He got himself a foul
Yeah.
by pulling Smart down. But if he was just a little fast on his flop, I can't lie, that foul would have been on Smart.
Yeah. It would
But
have been. It would have been
he thought about it a little too late
a
and then
little too
started to
late. Yeah.
pull him down. So it's like at the end of the day, you see Jordan Poole actually started to get into the mind games of the finals. So it's like he gonna start pushing that forward and understanding the moment. So that you seen it transition into the very next play where that happened and he got the fake slap. So
Yeah. That
kudos,
was
Poole.
another question that I had.
Outsmart and smart.
Outsmart. That was another question I had. Smart. Jordan Poole, it hasn't been a pool party. It's been a sprinkler party
Mm,
because
they said it was a
he hasn't been
pond.
consistent.
It was a puddle.
Yeah, the sprinklers. You know,
It was
the
the
Tom
puddle
sprinkler.
party. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It created a little puddle party.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
was
a
a
pool
puddle.
party.
It was at a pool party. It's been it's a kiddie pool party. You know, like I mean, he hasn't been consistent. I mean,
Mhm.
it's almost been every other game. I mean, it's almost like he's embodying Jaylen Brown in the essence
Uh-huh.
because everything's been every other game. This game, game 5, he was great. Game 4, doo-doo. Game 3, great. I can't even say game 1 because game 1 he was still iffy. Game 2 he was better,
Yeah.
but he wasn't good until games 3 and 5.
Yeah, I think it's all about getting into. I think the beginning of the finals was him more embracing it, understand. he's
Yeah,
still
it's the
he's still
moment. It's still the
young.
moment.
He's
Yeah.
getting to the moment. But we also got to think about it too, right? Since the beginning of the playoffs, is where he started his thing. Defense, like I said, defense gets better.
Mhm.
He has to adjust to that. And then after starting to adjust to that, and you seen he was trailing off as the playoffs went.
Right.
He was trailing off. It wasn't as big of a splash as at the beginning.
Mhm.
So he was trailing off, and then comes into the finals. He got that, finals hit, that finals, deer in the headlights
Yeah.
type of thing.
The butterflies, the jitters.
Yeah, he got all of that going on. So now as the playoffs go on, he can see it like, okay, cool. Clay's getting his mental. He's getting that Clay mental. You know what I mean? Clay talking to him and he listening. He's like, all right, cool. And now he see Clay doing it. So I think this game might be, hey, look, a game 6 Clay, maybe a game 6 Poole. You feel me? Yeah, Poole might be 6 foot deep.
That was another question that I had too, because you look at the experience, not playoff experience, because yeah, this Celtics, a lot of those Celtics players are playoff, they're battle tested. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, Tatum's been to the Eastern Conference Finals as well as Brown. I mean, Horford damn near lived in the conference finals for years. I mean, between Atlanta and Boston, Smart's been to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think you look at the only other players that haven't been this deep in the playoffs maybe have been, Pritchard, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and right. So when you look at it from that perspective, and you go over to Golden State, I would say damn near 7 of those players over there have either been to the playoffs and have that testing, have that first taste of, being in the playoffs and being actually tested past the first round, or have been to the finals and understands the moment enough to teach the younger guys. You got Iggy and Wiggins here, right? You got Dre and everybody's here essentially. And then you're just picking the minds from 2 of the greatest shooters we've ever seen, Clay and Curry. So I just think that there's a plethora of experience, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the experience outweigh the young, gritty resilience of the Celtics. It's literally, I believe that's what it is. What's your take?
I honestly, I believe the same thing, because at the end of the day, even though the Celtics got that experience of being in, to the Eastern Conference Finals and actually making it past first round, second round, and actually getting to the Eastern Conference and now finally to the finals,
right?
It's like they all throughout the years they was learning and scraping their way through and making it happen. Yes, but now you're going against people who actually made it happen enough.
Yeah.
Where they could see they could still teach the younger people. But the thing about it is now all of the people who's there in the Boston, they're all still young.
Yeah.
They're still teaching themselves like some certain things. They ain't learn it from other people where it's like, all right, cool, I understand.
And they have a
still
young coach.
learning, even though they're making it. Even though they made it where they at and they're making it, they're still young.
Yeah.
Even though
they're babies.
Tests.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the only reason, like, it's like, okay, you still root for them. It's like, because they still the young ones. You want to see the young people,
you want to see the young bulls.
You want to see the young people take over. And like, that's why I was so hype about the Celtics even making it to the finals, because I'm like watching them beat Durant, one off the checklist. Like, that's one of the older guys who you're gonna pass. Then you go ahead and beat Giannis. Like, Giannis is somebody who's still gonna be with you, but that just shows like, all right, cool, we could beat Giannis.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, that's just a good culture you going against in the Heat. It's just like, all right, cool. We could be
that's
their
a huge culture.
Yeah, their culture versus our culture.
Yeah,
our
2 defensive-minded teams clashing.
Exactly. So it's just like they are showing and they're doing what they got to do to sit there and be like, all right, cool, we're making a path for us to actually win further down the line as well. So it's like, it's still, that's why I like the young boys. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm still going for the Warriors.
I mean, I really just If it was anybody else, I think I would go for the Celtics. If it was
Yeah, that's
anybody else,
agreed. I ain't gonna
I
lie. If it was
if it was
Phoenix
the
there,
Mavs, the Phoenix,
if it
yeah,
was Phoenix there,
as
I was
much
going for the
even
Celtics.
I don't know because
I'd have had
Phoenix,
a tattoo.
even with Phoenix, bro, because Phoenix, I kind of want Chris Paul to get a ring. Like I
Me
want him to retire with a
too.
ring, but I'm not mad. I would still probably go for Boston because
Yeah.
I really like Tatum. I think Tatum. This is not your year, and it happens. It happens. It's just not your year. How many times Jordan went to the playoffs before it was his year? You know what I'm saying? How many times did did LeBron go to the playoffs before it was fully his year? Yeah, he went to the finals, but how many times did he go to the playoffs before it was really his year? You know what I'm saying? You have to really take that into account too. And it also comes with experience, that having those guys behind you that have that experience, not just being there. Not everybody gets to go to the final. How many players in NBA history has ever made it to the finals? Considering
to the final.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Considering how many players have actually been in the league, right? But how many players have actually won the finals?
Exactly.
But
thinking about it, I know you were sitting here saying about their year. This is like, it's too early for them. When is going to be their year then? Is it going to be 2 years from now?
Tough.
Because the league is going to get healthier next year.
Yeah, it's tough. I think
they're going to make
moves. You look at it, put it this way. Coming into next season, because we're going to talk about this when the finals is over and our picks and everything going into it, especially when the draft comes. Yeah, we'll be here live going over the draft and everything will be y'all first destination. Shameless plug. But when it really comes down to it, they're still the team to beat. They're the team that got to the finals. They're the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. It's you get to you make it to the finals. Whatever conference you're in, doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're going to be the team to beat. Everybody's going to be gunning for you because you won the conference championship. Y'all won. You're the Western. You're the
conference.
Right. You have the crown going in. So they're the team to beat. Yeah. Bucks is going to be healthy. Brooklyn is going to be healthy. I mean, Brooklyn, I think, was the most injured team in the league this year. And I truly think that a fully healthy Brooklyn team, it wouldn't have been a sweep. At the very least, it would have been
a healthy Milwaukee Bucks.
Because I think Middleton does so much for that team, and it showed. The series against Boston showed exactly what Middleton means, because it takes so much pressure off of your star. Batman needs a Robin. Doesn't matter what team you're on. Batman needs a Robin.
Yeah, we need somebody to take pressure off in Boston, bro. That's why I keep talking about that floor general, man.
Yeah, I think that they could live and die with Smart being the starting point guard, but you need somebody to come off that bench. Imagine if they had somebody like a Derrick Rose over there, or even if they still had Schroeder.
No, we ain't gonna say that. You're going too far.
Okay, maybe not Schroeder. All right,
so you're going too far.
Let's say they had somebody like let's get a vet. Let's put in a vet, a point guard vet.
Like somebody from Utah.
Yeah, even if they have Michael Conley, Michael Conley coming off the bench. They have Michael Conley coming off the bench. If they had even if they had what's his face, Dragic, Gorgon, they had him. If they had a vet point guard coming off that bench that understands not only how to create for himself, but to create for others, because that's literally the one thing that they're lacking. You could have Grant Williams and Derek White and Peyton Pritchard out there, because if you have a point guard out there that's giving Smart some rest and that can still keep that offense moving, it's taking them over the hump, and that's the one piece that they're missing.
Yep.
But you can't rule out you can't rule out the Bucks. You definitely can't rule out Boston. Miami.
Brooklyn?
Miami's gonna make moves.
Yeah.
Miami's gonna make moves. They're gonna make
Yeah,
moves,
you
whether they
seen the
keep Hero or
picture.
not. Yeah, they're gonna make moves.
You seen the picture with Butler
And
and Spider out there,
yeah,
man.
Mitchell. Yeah, I mean they're gonna make moves. Pat Riley is probably one of the most aggressive GMs next to homeboy that was in Philly and Boston. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I
and
mean he in
and then on
Utah
top of
now,
that,
so it's gonna be tough.
Philly, you have a healthy Embiid. I don't think Boston gets past the 76ers. Embiid is too much. Too much. He proved it. He's too much. You know, you have a healthy Embiid. Does Boston get past Philly?
Yeah, I don't know about James Harden though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but look, you have a healthy Embiid. You have a healthy Embiid. You're gonna have to double him in the paint. You're gonna have to double him on the block, and then on top of that, Embiid touches the floor. It creates more opportunities for Harden. Yeah, I get it. Harden was washed. He was not the same player he has been from Houston back to Brooklyn, even in OKC in his rookie year. He's not the same. But I will tell you this: Embiid healthy, I think he's all right. I think Harden plays better. He's not pressing. He's not looking for the foul. He's not hunting for shots. Why? Because he'll be the Robin. That's what he needs to be at this point in his career.
At this point in his career, and I can't lie. I think like even Embiid said, Embiid, it wasn't being rude about it, but this ain't the same Harden as before. Like we thinking of the Harden who's triple double, who's dropping 40. You know what I mean? 40 points, triple double, 50 points, triple doubles. But right now, Harden is at a place where he's a 20 and 10 guy. He'll get you 20 points and 10 assists type of thing. That's what they need out there. Somebody who
that's what they need. But another thing is he has to come into the season in shape.
Yeah.
In shape. He was not in shape.
Harden, round is not a shape in this league, bro. Especially not for a guard.
Yeah, if you're 6'10" and you're round, okay, I get it. But bro, you're 6'7", 6'6".
He's 6'5", bro.
6'5". That's even worse. That's even worse. I was trying to compliment him.
6'5".
6'5", and you just a whole 260 out there, donuts and lemon pepper wings running up and down the court, fresh out the strip club. Oh man! All right, man. Okay, I don't even want to get into next season because we're definitely going to talk about next season at the end of this season. Let's get through this season first. But I do want to change the subject. Both me and X have Golden State winning tomorrow night, and again, we'll be here tomorrow. I promise we'll be here. We wasn't there Monday because, time scheduling. Don't worry about it. But we'll be here tomorrow night. 15 minutes before the game starts. Game 6 will be in Boston between the Golden State Warriors and the Celtics. Moving on to 2 other subjects before we close this one out. First subject is I was having a conversation and I wanted to save it for the podcast. I didn't even text you this. I was saving it for the podcast. I want fresh.
Who was you having a conversation with? You cheating?
My uncle, bro.
Cheating? Oh Lord, it's over. No, it's over.
Look, so let's talk about the WNBA because I've been seeing a lot of TikToks. This white dude, he goes around to different WNBA arenas. And he asks these questions. He's like it's random questions. Like he'll ask a fan, "I'll give you $5,000 right now if you can name the Sparks head coach." And they'll be like, "I don't know who that is," but then he'll point, and the head coach be right there on the banner, right behind him. So it'd be mad funny, but he goes to different arenas and does this. I gotta send you these TikToks, bro. This is hilarious. He goes to different arenas, he asked this one dude, he said, "I'll give you court-side seats to the Liberty game if you can name me their point guard." And literally, point guard was on the banner outside, right?
And I'm horrible because I know exactly her face, but I don't know her name. She's a problem too.
It gets worse because the next question he asked was, "Would you rather courtside seats or $1?" That was his next question to the next person I was passing. The person took $1, bro.
Took $1. I don't know the player.
So look. My argument, and this is something I agree with my uncle on. My argument and his argument is, if you lower the hoops, they have NBA regulation hoops, right? They have 10-foot hoops, right? You lower the hoops to 8 feet. Like, I get it. They're women. They want to be equal. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Having daughters of my own, you have daughters yourself. We understand, the equality of it. But it's not equal, because if WNBA players was to play the NBA players, like, it would be landslide. It would. The NBA is just, they're bigger. They're I'm not gonna say they're faster, but they're a lot more physical. They're a lot more physical, and you're not LeBron. Who's Lisa Leslie is not guarding LeBron.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
This is why I had a thing, free Brittany Griner, but I had a talk with somebody about that, right? When she did the Boogie thing, she said, yeah, "I'll beat Boogie." I was like, honestly, Brittany, if we do a side to side comparison, who she's literally the size and like weight and height of?
Who?
Paul George.
Oh my gosh! And she's saying that she'll beat Boogie.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you see the skill set between them, which she's the same size as him, and he's damn near a point guard where he dribble the ball, he's shooting threes, he's doing this, that, and third, and she's like a Sean Bradley. Like, you know what I mean? It's just different. But
it's different.
I would sit there and say, of course the equality thing, we want all of that, but also it's just like the fact that, like, you just want some exciting more plays, because it's like, it's no disrespect to them, because I watch the WNBA.
Yeah, I watch it too.
I got the WNBA League Pass thing. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for the playoffs to be over. You know what I'm saying? So I'll watch it. But at the end of the day, it's like, you do want more excited. The reason why people watch the NBA is because they're dunking on people. They're shooting threes from endless range. They're doing this, that, and third. Like, come on. Like,
and that's why I say, if you lower the hoop to like 8 feet, not even 8 feet, maybe even 8.5, it gives them an opportunity to dunk the ball. I would pay $1,000 courtside seats to see a WNBA player dunk on another WNBA. Yo, bro, I'm paying money for that, bro. I'm paying money.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm paying money. I want to see chicks dunk on each other. I'm paying bread. You take my money right now. Yo, they can take all the patches off their jerseys and everything, bro, because they're not going to need it. They're going to be getting so much money because their stadiums are going to be packed out.
Exactly.
Put it this way. The Lingerie Football League, right? On Man TV or whatever it was on, right? Bro, that was more watched than Sunday Night Football at one point. Lingerie football, because you had a bunch of chicks running around in bras and panties, clocking each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like knocking their wheels off. And then you had the coaches mic'd up, like, nah, don't let that girl disrespect you next time she come out. Level her. And what happens the next play? Shorty get leveled. Bra and panties. Helmet flying. Mouthpiece gone. People are paying money for that. Give me that level of excitement. I want 8-foot rims, and I want all of them dunking on each other. I don't care, and I want them shooting shots from Curry range.
And the thing about it is, like, we can keep it 100. They talk about the equality. Like, I'm not, like I said, I love this sport, but they talk about equality. But at the end of the day, even their basketballs is already smaller.
It's not equal. It's not equal. It's not equal. You want to talk about equality? Then make it fair. You want to level the playing field? Lower the hoop. Let them dunk.
Yeah. But
can you name right now? Can you name 2 WNBA players that dunk consistently, other than Lisa Leslie?
I mean, you can't say Lisa Leslie because she's very retired now.
But other than Lisa Leslie, who?
Damn, she just went to the LA Sparks. I forgot her name. She went to the LA Sparks. She's a beast too. She played for the Aces.
I know you're talking about. But you gotta say, I need 2 players. I need 2 players.
I don't know her name. I forgot her. I can't tell her name right now. She's a foreign chick too.
But see, if the hoops was lowered and she dunked consistently, and she was just yamming on like 3 people in the paint.
Because I can't lie.
You're gonna remember her name.
I can't lie. If it was like 8-foot rim, she probably would be booming on girls. She would probably be like Shaq Diesel right now.
Cocking back. The whole 9. I want to see that, bro. I want to see that. I want to see.
At least give him 9 foot something. Like, just try it one year. Even the NBA shortened the 3-point line.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. You want to make WNBA
But
more
I
exciting?
mean,
You want to
it
fill up
don't.
these arenas?
Yeah, it don't hurt. It don't hurt, but it hurts their egos. So it's like,
I don't think it hurts the Eagles. I don't. Think about it this way. If you had a better advantage, because right now we're not dunking on 10-foot rims. We're not running
yeah,
down. We're not running down the court and jamming on them.
You're talking about the advantage of watch, viewership. The advantage of viewership, yeah, but I'm talking about their ego.
Yeah, but think about it this way: viewership goes up. People start filling the arenas.
Yeah,
their
pay goes up. Yeah, and
up.
that's not how they seeing it. They hey, look, that's not how they want to see it for some reason.
But look,
like I said, it's the
you want to fight for equality. You want the same paycheck that LeBron's getting. Then I want to see you dunking like LeBron.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to see you running. I want to see a fast break where Shorty just you know, like that's what I want to see. I want to see Shorty just 5 people in the paint. She don't care. I don't care. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm yamming it straight up. I want to see. I want to see a chick do what Wiggins did to Luka.
Yeah, that'd be bananas.
That'd be bananas, bro. Yo, I'm paying money to see. I'm going to I'm getting season tickets, bro. I'm getting season tickets. I'll be at every Liberty game. I don't care. I want to see it, bro. What's her name? Ionescu? That's her name? Ionescu? Ionescu? Shorty that trained with Kobe, who was close with Kobe.
Oh, the chick on the Liberty. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. That's the point guard. I can't say her name. I don't know.
She went to the Sparks. I thought she was not. She just got drafted. No,
she at Liberty.
Yeah, yo,
I ain't said the Sparks. Bro, no, bro. I meant this. I said the Sparks.
Oh, you meant Shorty from the Aces. Yeah, that went to the Sparks.
Aces went to the Sparks.
Yeah, but yeah, give me an 8-foot rim and have. I want her coming down the lane and just cocking back and yamming. Yeah, wait, Shorty, she yammed on's like not even 6 foot. Was she like 5'7"? But how tall is Ionescu? Like 6'2" or something like that?
Honestly, I'm keeping 100 with you. I don't know how tall she is. I just know she a beast out there.
Yeah, she is. But yo, imagine, 2-handed, straight up in the paint. Yo, I'm paying money for that. I don't care. I'm throwing money at the WNBA. Throwing money. But all right, we're gonna move on for the WNBA. Yo, make it happen. I don't even know who's the commissioner of the WNBA. But you need to make that happen. You need to make that happen.
Like. I know what they all look like. I just don't know.
You just don't know the names. But you know, but that I think that's a testament to watching. You know the names and you all right. So it's like
I know Adrian Wilson though. Holla at me.
Yo, you stupid. You go out of your way. you go out of your way to learn people. You go out of your way because it's what you like. You know what I'm saying? So you like this player, you'll go out your way to learn more about them, who's around them, surrounding themselves with it. You start to like the team gets better. You start to know the coach and everything, the ins and outs, what the coach likes to run. That's all a part of sports. When it comes to the WNBA, you don't know these players because one, they're not getting the marketing. Why they're not getting the marketing? Because they're not getting the money. Why they're not getting the money? Because nobody is coming to watch. There's no viewers. If you lower the rim, they start getting viewers because they're dunking on each other. I mean, who doesn't want to see 2 chicks just battling it out in the paint? And then on top of that, now you can start paying these females. Now these females are looking at 7-8 figures. You know, that could be the revolution for them. But the revolution changed for the NBA when they started going away from the mid-range and the paint moves because of the 3-point. And they shortened the 3-point, and now it's more prevalent. And even now today, it's even more prevalent because you got teams that's living and dying by the 3. Look at Dallas. So I think that it changes everything, and you don't got to lower it to like 8, maybe 8.5, maybe even 9. You know, take your shortest girl and see how she could dunk comfortably, and then move from there. You know.
Nah, I just say like 9. Let's start with 9 and then move it down.
And then move it down from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I mean, I'd much rather go low and then go up Because if it's too easy for them to dunk, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That is,
Honestly, that's what happened with the 3-point line. You saw Jordan was an elite 3-point shooter for one
oh,
season.
yeah, yeah.
Then they moved the
They moved
3-point
it
back.
back.
He was like, man, I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
I ain't doing that. I can
I
really
ain't
even
doing
shoot
that
it.
one.
So
Our last topic before we head up out of here, LeBron. You knew I was gonna come with this.
oh Lord. It's always
LeBron
gonna
is
be
not
about LeBron.
committed to the Lakers. He's not committed to the Lakers. He says he's not gonna commit until the Lakers prove that they could put a team around him that he could contend with. I got two questions to that. One, is he right or wrong for that? And the second thing is he not committing because he wants to play somewhere else? He wants to play with a specific somebody?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. As she should, man. She should know her worth. You feel me? LeBron, yeah, this is where you're not taking accountability. You the one who went over there. I understand, it's supposed to be somebody else back there, but you a late GM. They said you kind of put
Jim.
yeah, they said you kind of pulled the trigger, for that Westbrook. It was like, come on, bro. We knew that wasn't gonna work. I don't know how you ain't know it wasn't gonna work. So it's like you got to take accountability and be like, you know what, I kind of messed this up for y'all. You know what I mean? You already traded for AD and lost a lot of your assets. You lost a lot of assets with you. You know what I mean? Period. So it's like now it's just like the LeBron effect. Anywhere he goes, once he leaves, you really don't have much
at all.
So it's like you just gotta take accountability. It's the end of your career. Just play your contract out. You don't maybe not even have to sign, but just play it out. You shouldn't even have said this. Just play it out, and when your son comes, you do your thing. Because at the end of the day, even though you got some crazy impact numbers, you need AD to stay healthy to win. He's not. He's proven he can't stay healthy.
What is his contract? Is it an opt out or or is it a full contract?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not 100% sure. LeBron.
I mean, if he says he's not committed, it could be a player option. It could be
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I respect LeBron, but I don't like him enough to follow him. Fuck him.
I mean,
I don't know his contract. I don't know his
you.
contract, but I think he should, take
I agree with you
for his actions in this.
Totally agree with you. I mean, it's been him since day one, since he got there. They got a ring because of the bubble. I truly believe if there was no bubble, there's no ring for the Lakers. I truly believe that. You look at the grinding. Series are determined by moving from state to state to play these games, and that's the wear and tear. There's no wear and tear in the bubble. These guys, they play their games. It's like if me and you was to stay at a hotel, and that whole time we're at the hotel for that week, where we go play ball and we go straight back upstairs. Go play ball the next day, go straight back upstairs.
And then you gotta think about the fact that like it was postponed until that.
Yeah, so they had so much time to get their bodies right just to start back up, and then everything was catered to them. They literally built a bubble, like a literal bubble for them to not only get training, get the medical staff, get food and everything presented to you, and all you have to do is literally go out there and play every other day. So that's why I don't consider the bubble win a true win, because if you're looking at a full season and the work that goes into it, you have to consider travel. You have to consider, the buildings that they have virtual fans. That's not the same thing. Oh yeah, you could pump the fan noise into that, but that's not the same. It's not. Imagine going to the Garden and hearing the intensity, and especially when you're the opposing team and all you're hearing is boos while you're at the free throw line. They're not pumping that kind of sound into the bubble. Yeah. Right, the year before that bubble, but no, I think that was that off season, but they traded off Lonzo. Kuzma, not Kuzma. Kuzma's still there. They traded off Hart, Josh Hart, Randall. No, I think
Yeah,
Randall was gone the year
nah,
before that.
Randall was gone already. They traded
Yeah,
everybody to the Pelicans.
yeah, they traded everybody, and then you look at it, you're trading young assets that literally could help you right now.
Mhm.
And I get it. You wanted AD, but you could have waited. You could have waited. Well, he was gonna be a free agent in like another year or something like that. You
And
could have
it's
waited.
like, yeah, and it's like you gotta think about it. Like at the end of the day, we could keep it 100. We already knew he wasn't committed to them and they wasn't 100% committed to him because at the end of the day, when he was talking about getting trades and doing this, that, and the third, they didn't want to get up. They didn't want to give up their picks.
Yeah.
Their future picks, because at the end of the day, a few years down the line, LeBron, you're not going to be here.
You're not
we
gonna
have
be
to
there.
thinking about moving forward with whoever. So it's like, yo, come on, bro. You gotta take us in the accountability that we're the team, like, and you're the player. And it's like, yo, after you, we have to move on. That's why I respect Golden State so much, because even though Golden State and Curry and them, because they want some, you can see how it is. They want to retire over there. And you can see it. They'll probably be the people who take a pay cut and be like, you know what? Some of these younger folks to come in there, let's just mentor them and keep it pushing. Like,
Yeah.
I can see that. But with LeBron been every other team he want to go to.
Every single team he leaves,
it ain't no
they
respect
literally
to
have
any
nothing.
organization. So it's like, and I understand the player empowerment, but still, at the end of the day, you got to find a middle ground for both of y'all to succeed.
I mean, you look at the Cavs when he left, they didn't have anything, and that was for years. But it took him, what, 5 years to go back to the Cavs. When he finally went back to the Cavs, it was like 5 years. Well, he left Miami. They didn't have anything either. They didn't have anything. What they traded, I think they traded like a first or something, and some young guys for Ray Allen, in a sign and trade. They had the older guys, and then he goes to Los Angeles. No. Then he goes back to Cleveland. He went back to Cleveland, strips him of everything to get Kevin Love. They don't have anything going forward, and then he goes to Los Angeles, and they literally don't have anything right now. And when you look at that from that aspect, it's almost like LeBron is more of a hindrance than a help. You look at other players like Curry. You look at players that sacrifice. I mean, the contract extension Curry signed, he signed that for two reasons. One, because he didn't know if he would get a bigger contract later on. He didn't know he was going to become who he was going to become. I mean, we knew, we saw it, but he didn't know. And that's fine. That's fine. You get your money. You get your money as soon as you could get it. But the second reason is because he wanted Clay to get paid. He wanted Dre to get paid. He wanted to stick around with his guys. You look at the core. You look at your core. You take a pay cut. You're taking a pay cut because you want to keep your core intact. And your core is what's going to not only sustain longevity to compete, but also give you a fighting chance because of the chemistry. When you got new guys coming in, whether it be young, whether it be vets, vets will assimilate to the culture a little bit quicker. But that doesn't mean that, all right, well, he's going to automatically gel with us because he's a vet. Look at Melo. Melo's a prime example. Whether it be in OKC, whether it be in Houston, whether it be in Portland, whether it be in Los Angeles, Melo is a prime example. And it's almost like the Lakers did exactly what the Knicks did to get Melo. Because you look at it, right? The Knicks, they traded everything. They traded the farm in order to get Melo. Melo was already coming. Melo, he was coming to the Garden regardless. I'm going to be a New York Knick. Oh, we want you now, so we're gonna give up everything to get you. And it took the years for the Knicks to even get to a place where they are right now, where they have young guys that are exciting. You look at the Lakers; they're going to be in that same place that the Knicks have been in, and the way that the media and everybody views the Knicks right now, they're a poverty franchise. They're they can't get nobody to stay. They can't get no vets to come. Cool. If the Knicks follow the blueprint that Golden State took, they'll be okay. Build around your young guys. Keep going through the draft. Because I think Golden State is probably the premier team when it comes to drafting well
Yeah, and player
and
development. That's the
and
thing.
player development, and that's huge. And it's not like the Knicks don't have good player development. I think Allen Houston is probably one of the better coaches in the league when it comes to player development. You know, I love H2O. I love him. But I don't know, man. I think LeBron is corny for that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think he's corny for that. I love LeBron the player. I don't love LeBron the GM. I don't love LeBron the person. You know what? I don't even think I love him the player. I respect him as the player.
Yeah,
I don't love him. I think I love him as the person. I love, the media type thing. I like what he says. I like how he presents himself. He's probably one of the only, like, the biggest stars in the world to never be caught up in a scandal. I mean, he could be on Tinder right now. Nobody would know.
just not yet.
Oh, you think it's gonna come? You think it's gonna
You ain't just see the post.
Nah, what happened?
Oh, I said it was just some
Yeah,
girl
say
that
that to me,
said
say that
it
to
was
me.
some girl that said, "Hey, look, LeBron used to fly her out." Yeah,
Say that to me. Say that to me. We'll post it.
I heard
We'll post
all
that on the
this
Instagram page.
personal. I heard some spicy stuff too. I heard some spicy.
I need it. All right, we gonna talk about that after the show. We're at the end of the show. We got the end of the show. We will get into the spicy details maybe another time. You know what? We're gonna do a Q&A one day, and yeah, y'all keep those questions penciled in, because when we do that Q&A, y'all can bring those up, and maybe we'll talk about it. I don't know. Maybe we could get LeBron's representatives out here to hold it down. Thank you guys for another episode of the Flagrant 2. Again, tomorrow night, Game 6. It's not gonna be just Game 6 Clay. It's gonna be Game 6 Curry. I'm calling it now. Game 6 Curry, MVP. They're gonna close it out. I don't care what nobody says. Take us out of here, bro.
Y'all already know the vibes, man. Like, share, sub.